the intensive care unit of the Korle-Bu surgical ward has been shut down, awaiting government's purchase of consumables to run the center.
Management says it will need millions of euros to import the items to improve on treatment of emergency cases. Meanwhile, patients who have been booked for treatment have been referred to the Ridge and 37 military hospitals.
The intensive care unit and the theatre centres at the surgical ward have been shut down for the past 2 years. Heads of departments and the management have since created treatment centres at the recovery units as contingency measures. Patients who were booked to receive their treatment have since been referred to the Ridge and 37 hospitals, and those with emergencies are treated at the recovery units. The patients are expected to pay 1,200 cedis a day to receive medical care. According to the heads of departments, the hospital will need medical consumables, which includes syringes, infusion and transfusion, and surgical catheters. Patients whose treatments are urgent are asked to seek treatment abroad.
The patients that come to us and the people that visit here every day are aware of these issues. Some of them can afford to wait. Those that cannot afford to wait, we refer some to 37. Those can afford to travel abroad to do it, they go abroad to do it.
People have died in your...
Absolutely, I can't tell, but naturally, if you can't get a treatment and your case is critical, it means you die.
Management of the hospital indicated it has begun retooling the center, which had been closed down, assuring the center will be opened in March this year, but asked government to secure additional funding to support those who will be accessing healthcare.
As part of opening the ICU, we are also creating some extra funds to support that service, and hence the critical care fund is supposed to support a service like this, because no single person can afford this. If you happen to be in there for 5 days, that is 5,000 cedis. And how many Ghanaians can afford a thing like this? So it is easy now. Somebody can say, oh, this I can sort it out for you, I'll buy you consumables. But that's not the end. People going into the space must be prepared to pay. It's expensive, and so we have to support anybody who is going in there with this fund.
Meanwhile, Health Minister Alex Segbefia has apologized to families who've lost their loved ones during the closure of the unit.
He made the emotional plea after touring some units of the Korle-Bu Teaching Hospital here in Accra.
The minister first toured the outpatients department, which has been refurbished into an emergency center. The unit has received equipment for surgical operations and place for patients to rest after treatment. From the center, he made a stopover at the surgical ward, which has been shut down. He again visited the IK unit, where he interacted with patients and pledged government commitment to provide health care. Later, the minister and the management of the hospital made a stopover at the maternity block and the children's ward. Both doctors and nurses at the maternity and children's ward pleaded with the minister to secure additional funding to improve on the facilities. After the tour, the minister, Alex Segbefia, at a news conference, apologized to families who have lost relatives due to the closure of the unit.
My deepest condolences to families and sympathizers of those who may have lost their lives as a result of the ongoing changes that are occurring within many of our health institutions, and especially now in Korle-Bu. It's important I mention it because you can never bring it back when it goes, and people should understand that we have a deep sense of responsibility when it comes to the loss of life.
Chief Executive Officer of the hospital, Dr. Gilbert Buckle, assured to retool other units to provide treatment to patients.
We realize that we are having more and more elective cases, which is congesting the outpatient area, for which in real terms we will not do anything to them now. So it is safer for the patient not to come all the way here. It is safer for them not to have an expectation that you will be operated on tomorrow, so we can concentrate on the emergencies with the limited space that we have to care for that.